Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Thomas back at you with another video. And today we will be talking about Robinhood's first day in the market. I think it's kind of an interesting topic here. Kind of went a little how I expected, but there's a bit of a twist to this that I did not expect. And so I'm going to go ahead and just look over the stock itself, go over some articles and some things that are going on. But before I do that, I want to thank everybody for all the new support. I really appreciated my last video. Got so many more views than I usually do in the first 24 hours. So I really appreciate it. And I've noticed that you guys really enjoy the IPO videos. So let me know in the comments which IPOs that are coming up, if there's any that you guys want me to specifically review. As I've said before, I'll look over the ones that are in the Robinhood IPO access listing because those are the ones that you guys probably have the most readily access to. However, if there are ones outside of that that you guys are interested in, let me know and I will go ahead and do my best to look at those as well. So now to jump into the video, Robinhood had their IPO today. And the first thing I want to say is I noticed that they did not do the traditional sharing aspect. You know, it was in their IPO access, but they never set a final price. They never gave the initial buy-in part. And so nobody really got to buy into it before it actually went public. And as far as I know, and I watch these quite often, I will check on them a couple times a day just to see if we have a final price. And I was looking at these late last night at around, I think like 2 a.m. and I still did not see a final price on these. I mean, maybe it happened like at some point in the morning, but never saw that happen. And it came to my understanding that Robinhood has been having difficulties allocating their shares. So first off, they went on the low end price. They opened up at $38 and they were going back and forth between a 38 and 42 price. So they went on the low end. And, you know, looking over several of these articles, they did something a little bit unusual, which is that they chose to allocate about close to, I believe it was 30% of their stock to the everyday investors, I guess, if you want to call them that. So interesting choice on their end there. Usually it's between the low 20s. So it says like right here, it says that the hot IPO Robinhood said it would allocate up to 35% of its own offering to its own users in the end. Robinhood customers got up to 25% of the IPO, according to the people familiar with the matter. And then their CEO says one of our company's values is participation and power. It didn't seem right for us that IPOs had typically been reserved for the top 1%. Yeah, the IPOs are reserved for the top 1%. But, you know, I guess apparently when it comes to shorting stocks, those are. So, you know, be that as it will. But Robinhood, not a good day opening up. They lost 8%. They opened at 38. They had a substantial drop with only a few minutes into it. They were able to somewhat recover here, get back up, but at the end of the day, market closing, they're down about $2-3, give or take, which is not much. But the fact that within the first couple hours, so they opened up at around, I think they opened 9 was about it the time. And then about 3 hours later, they dropped by almost $5. And then they recover in like the next 30 minutes and continue to drop. And so I'm not sure how many people actually bought into Robinhood itself. They have said again that they are struggling to allocate all of their shares out. And there was this somewhat of a theory that people were not going to invest in Robinhood, more so that if they were going to short it. But a lot of people, from what I've been seeing, are choosing to just not touch Robinhood whatsoever. They're not going to short it. They're not going to call it. They're going to put nothing into it. They will not touch Robinhood And, this is not a strategy I thought of. I mean, you're seeing multiple headlines saying that Robinhood is having like one of the worst debuts as big of an IPO as it's having. Now, granted, they still made billions of dollars. There's, as bad of a day as it was, they've got $1 billion in stock. Now, that being said, this Reddit user here, he says that, let me ask you something. If the hedgies sell all the people who hold, if the hedgies see all the people who hold the very stock that is threatening their bankruptcy suddenly open short positions on Robinhood, what would be the most logical thing for them to do? If you said pour a lot of money into long positions on Robinhood to short squeeze retail traders, you would be correct. Do not touch the Robinhood IPO. Do not go long on it. Do not go short on it. Ignore it. And, we'll see if people stick to that. As I've said before, I'm not investing in Robinhood. I don't want to. I don't think anything that Robinhood has done has been a good call on their part. They've messed up and, they've not made right by that at all in the last year. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens here. But I think it's somewhat of a brilliant strategy. If Robinhood's own users don't want to invest in it, and if there's no way to go around either shorting or calling it, they're going to have to deal with the problem in another way, which I think is kind of brilliant. Because, there's truth to that. There was a lot of speculation that there was going to be a short squeeze on Robinhood. And if there is that theory that is true, it gives them time to prepare for it. But at the same time, it's, you can't do that if it's not going to happen. So kind of pulled a 180 on them there. But we'll have to see what happens. A third of its shares are going to the users if they choose to buy them. And everything will probably, change next week. We'll have to see if it keeps going down or if it's going to stay up, because there are people that have an interest in keeping Robinhood staying afloat. They want it to do well, as there are people that don't want it to do well. However, we'll have to see what happens in this next month. Now, the fact that they didn't do the IPO access is very curious to me. I'm not sure why. I don't know what they're planning. I don't know what their plan is to go around it. Maybe they're trying to fix some trust, which is kind of a long shot and not going to work from what I can tell, but we'll have to see what they do. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Robinhood is going to be able to recover? Are you going to invest in Robinhood? What do you think they might be trying to do going forwards? And as always, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for future content. And as always, hit the bell icon so you never miss a future video. And I will see all of you guys again in the next video.